Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be making a miniature version of me. Okay, the base doll is going to be Claudine Wolf, which is one of my favorites. Okay, first we submerge the doll in hot boiling water after cutting off all the hair, and we try to pull the neck peg out. Well, after breaking the neck peg, I grabbed a different body and fixed it later. Then I wriggled around the pliers on the inside of the head to get all the hair out. Try using some needle nose, those are the best. They're the ones with the really thin tips, so try that. That will work pretty good. Once all the glue is out, well, then we can get started. Cut off the ears. Make sure you keep them, because they can be very useful if you're going to make it like an elf character. Obviously my character does not need those ears because they're going to have rabbit ears. So I used the moldable plastic so that I could make the rabbit ears, but I used these armature wires to start. They're about 20 gauge and you can get them at like your local craft store. I don't know why I thought I could put those in there at that direction, so I ended up putting them through the top and then bent the ears to the direction I wanted. I'm using hot glue to hold the bases in place, that way I don't have to just keep struggling with the wire. After the glue had hardened, I used a little bit of an X-Acto knife to kind of clean up the edges. In hindsight, I didn't actually need to do this because it was going to be covered up by the model later, so if you don't want to do this, you don't have to. I just more did it so that it smoothed into the plastic so that it didn't look like it didn't pop off. Alright, here I'm actually showing what the elf ears would look like, but obviously we don't need those, so I did save those. Did paint the skull, just in case. We rerouted it anyway, so I don't think it really shows through, but it's just in case. Alright, so try to find some 100% acrylic. You don't have to use pink. Again, this particular character is supposed to be me, so in the concept art the hair is pink, and it's more of an afro, so I didn't brush out the hair that much, and I made this poofy hair. I did paint the ears. It was kind of hard to do because the ears kept wanting to pop off because of the reroute, but eventually I got it all. So I put it into a ponytail and then secured it so that it didn't get paint all over it. Alright, typically when you start a face-up, this does not have MSC on it. I used the blushing with no MSC. I did wash the face and used acetone on it one more time and then washed off the face again. I wear gloves so that my oils from my hands don't get into the paint, and I don't seal them in. I feel like I'm the only customizer that actually hates MSC, so I will do just about anything to not use it. But this pastel is completely just on the face. I started dotting on some eyebrows. I'm not really a fan of eyebrows. They're kind of hard to place because, they're two giant blobs. And after I darkened the eyebrows, I went in with some lip color. I think I actually ended up removing that lip color. I think I might have replaced it later. It's kind of hard to get like a good edge on pastels, so it's hard. And I didn't mean to dye like the bottom lip, but if you take a kneaded eraser, you can erase it pretty well. You're probably wondering what I'm doing. They're not an Egyptian mummy, so why am I doing that? Well, I was going to place a nose ring, but it's kind of hard to place one after the sealant's done. I did chop the neck peg short. It's just a little bit easier to do it that way. And then this is after I did spray in all those layers. I tried to make a little bit of a waterline, but it kind of doesn't show up on the camera very well. Darker skinned dolls don't really show up that well on camera, and the lighter pigments don't show up as well sometimes. I tried to make a nice wing eyeliner. It's kind of hard. And I do start with like dark colors, which is not normal for most doll artists. Most doll artists ends up using like smaller layers, like light layers first, and usually I only end up, if I do use Mr. Superclear, I only use one layer, so everything's on the same layer for me. I actually started making the eyes purple sooner than I intended. I just thought it would be better. This is actually one of the first videos that I recorded. I just haven't posted it because it took some time. I was doing some other dolls as well. I start adding the whites. A lot of times on these types of dolls, the white is really hard to build up, but this particular pencil is a Faber-Castell, so they're pretty good. I only used Faber-Castell for brown, black, and white, gold, and I think silver, and then every other is just a standard watercolor that it doesn't have like a shell on it, so it's 100% watercolor that my parents got me. I tried to do that thing where you make the eyebrow a little bit darker at the edge, but they didn't really show up that well, so I just think I went with just purple and a little bit of black at the end. And there I go, erasing those little tiny eyelashes again. It's really hard for me to place those sometimes. They kind of end up looking unsymmetrical and sometimes look like drag makeup and then sometimes look like something else. I've been trying to make those very thin little eyelashes. I'm a little bit heavy-handed. I did add a little bit of beard just to kind of, add the androgyny, because, the feminine face, but then you got the beard. After unwrapping the hair burrito, I did take some water to smooth it down. I used an old toothbrush that, I had washed out, so it doesn't have any toothpaste still left in it. I did end up buying a new toothbrush that had never been used, just in case. I put the head back on the neck peg, so be very careful. Try to squeeze the temples, but don't try to distort the face. Alright, we're almost done, so now we're going to do the pants. I made those pants patterns, but you can take them off of a Monster High normal pants if you want. Alright, so I normally would put this under my sewing machine, but I kind of wanted to show how I would do it by hand. I just did a normal, I think it's called like a straight stitch, I don't particularly know. I tried to match all of it so that it looked very neat, but I did it by hand so that it was a little bit more detailed and I was under control for the whole thing. So I've started gluing on closures instead of like sewing them on. It's a little bit easier to glue them. The pants do actually unzip in front, but instead of a zipper, it's just a standard closure. I added that little, I don't remember what it's called, but I added that little detail so that it was the front of the pants. Alright, so I made the back and I made the front. I also made these two little loops so that the belt could go through. See? Alright, so I made that hole in the back of the doll so that I could embed a magnet for the little rabbit tail. That way I didn't have to worry about it not being seen. So, here I'm making some glasses because, like most people in the world, I am blind. Alright, so I used some wire and I turned it with the cap of like a pen so that they were, circles. I was trying to figure out whether or not which direction they should go. So once I figured that out, I curled over the ends. I cut the end and then curled them over so that it didn't hurt the hair. I think I added 2 dollops of glue to the back so that when it went through, it didn't snag the hair. I got this idea from Dollightfulls. She made some shades for her, I think it was for her unicorn doll. That doll had just come out when I made this video, so that's how you know how old it is, this video is. I had some film that I had bought from Hobby Lobby, and so that's what that is. It was really cheap. I got like quite a bit of it for like 90 cents. It was in the bin, the bargain bin. Alright, so using the good scissors, I cut out this fabric and I immediately put some fray check on it because it wanted to fuzz out. So I ended up sewing this together as well by hand because I was worried that it was going to fray, or I was worried I was going to lose it in the machine. And I really didn't want to have to clean out the machine like that. So I then put on the shoulders, the sleeves, and the sleeves are actually pretty hard. So you have to pin it in the middle, and then on the side, and then pin on the curve, which is probably hard. It's really, really hard. So I think I might go into better detail about that sometime soon. I'll probably make another video. If you want me to make a video about that, just comment down below, make a shirt tutorial video, and I'll make one. And then I sewed from the sleeve of the shirt all the way down the bodice, because it all connects at one piece. I did not end up putting this on the doll. I ended up giving it to one of my other dolls. It was originally going to be the puffy jacket, but it didn't quite work with the pink. Alright, so this is the finished doll. I did make some socks, and I added a jacket. So there is that. I have more dolls on the way, so thank you for watching, and I appreciate you. Alright, see ya!
Ha 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 ha.